check, check. Check, 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 check. It's been a long time coming that I had to say. When I wake up in the morning, all I do is pray for some guidance and protection on the street today, and an answer to the questions I ask every day. Tell me, why do the birds that used to fly here? Tell me, why do they come to die here? And all the kids who used to run here, tell me, why do they load their guns here? I remember in the days when we were one heart, no need to defend. I just wrap my arms around you. Don't give up, the song is for you. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. I hold on, I'm trying to hold on. I hold on, hold on, hold on.
Good morning. Welcome to the UU Church of the South Hills, also known as Sunnyhill. We are delighted that you could join us for this service. Our mission at Sunnyhill is to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. My name is Rebecca Senaway, and I serve as a worship associate for this congregation. If you're a newcomer or a visitor to our congregation, please go to sunnyhill.org, click on the button that says New to Sunnyhill to receive more information about our congregation and to receive our weekly email newsletter. If you're joining us online today, good morning. Please say hello or good morning in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. We'd like to hear from you too and extend a welcome to you as well. For those of you here in person, a gentle reminder to please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices so we can enjoy the service uninterrupted by buzzing or ringing. And if you have a restless infant or toddler with you today and need a place to take a break outside of the sanctuary, we have an infant care room in the back corner that you can access from the hallway, and you can still hear and see the service. Today's service is titled Whole and Brokenhearted. Writer Rita Nakashima Brock said, brokenheartedness, when we can acknowledge it, reveals both the heart's original grace and its virtually indestructible presence. Today's service asks, how can we become more whole through our brokenheartedness? Our opening words were written by Joe Von Roo and Lynette Lowe. Welcome to this space, this sanctuary of peace, where we come to not only create our best selves, but to also do the work of creating a beloved community. We come together today as individuals, much like pieces of glass or pottery that are different shapes, sizes, colors, all of which are broken, with imperfect, jagged edges, but always beautiful. While our pieces may not always fit neatly together, it is within this sanctuary, guided by our principles, that we gather together to create a beautiful mosaic. May the brokenness and beauty we find in one another create peace in this space and fill our hearts with love as we create worship together. Please join me in saying the words to light our chalice. May our chalice shine brightly, illuminating everything in our lives, jagged and smooth, dissonant and harmonious, broken and beautiful.
Good morning. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing, I've Got Peace Like a River. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. be seated.
Good morning. If there are any kiddos present that would like to come closer for a story, I invite you to join me up here now. Come on up. Good morning, friends. Sit down for now. I like my sparkly pink folder. It's pretty. Yeah, I love sparkles. All right, friends. I now have sparkly paper inside, too. All right, our story today is called A Mishmash Heart. And Benjamin is going to be helping me. And I don't want anyone to think I'm picking favorites by selecting Ben. Does anyone know how Ben and I are related? Any idea? No? Ben's my kid. He's my son. So, although I'm not picking favorites, he's mine, so I kind of am picking favorites a little bit, but that's why he's been my helper so much, is because he hasn't been here for a while, and he's been so helpful for the last couple of weeks, and I want him to really know that I appreciate him. So there's my Benny Boo. All right, so today's story is called A Mishmash Heart. Recently, at a multi-generational event at a Unitarian Universalist congregation, just like this one, everyone was encouraged to create a heart. They were given some construction paper and some glue and some markers to design their heart. Benjamin worked diligently to create the most perfect heart that he could. It even had glitter in the shape of diamonds all around the outside. We've already established we like glitter up here, so it makes sense. As he was going to help clean up, he noticed the heart of one woman around the same age as his grandmother, sitting at a nearby table. It was a mishmash mess of odd colors and had pieces that were ripped and torn and glued haphazardly upon it. Parts of it were wrinkled and crinkled. There was even a little hole in it. Thinking something was wrong, Ben offered to help the woman fix her heart. But the woman merely smiled and explained that there was nothing wrong with her heart. It merely revealed all the things which had happened to her in her life. She said that there were happy times there, and that the beautiful times, or the beautiful colors and designs represented when she first met her husband, her wedding, and the birth of her 3 children. There were other beautiful parts too, which stood for watching her children take their first steps on their own, riding a bike for the first time, and graduating from college. But what about all the rips and tears and wrinkles, Ben asked? Why are they there? These were for the sad times in her life, the woman explained. The time her best friend was stricken with measles, the time someone lied or did someone to hurt her feelings, and the hole was left when her husband passed away. In fact, every time a person comes into my life that I care about, she explained, they take a piece of my heart with them. This was distressing to Ben, thinking of the woman having to give part of her heart away to others. But what happens if you give it all away, he asked. You'll be left with nothing. No, I won't, the woman responded with a smile, because you see, they give me a piece of theirs as well. Ben, will you hold up your heart? Look how beautiful it is. Ben looked down at his beautiful, perfect heart with all the glitter and designs he worked so hard to make. Then he looked again at the woman's mishmash heart with all the jagged colors, rips, and wrinkles. Without hesitation, Ben ripped a piece off of his heart and handed it to the woman. Thanks, Ben. Thank you, the woman said, her mishmash heart, and tore off a piece and handed it to Ben. All right, let's hold up our hearts. And with that, we will sing you to your RE classes to As You Go. There we go. on there too.
Suena en claro.
Put it. Thank you.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go once more. As you go, may joy surround you. As you go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go. Yeah, when the slide's up there, you kind of have to do it, right? Mary and Buddy, we've given a week off, which is well-deserved, but that's why you're seeing a lot of me up here today. All right, and I'll ask you to sing along on this one if you know it or if you can catch on as it goes along with the chorus. The chorus is just, hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say, I won't let another moment slip away. And it sounds like this. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. Try it with me. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away once more. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. That's great. It's been a long time coming that I had to say. When I wake up in the morning, all I do is pray for some guidance and protection on the streets today, and an answer to the questions I ask every day. Like, tell me, why do the birds that used to fly here? Tell me, why do they come to die here? And all the kids who used to run in here, tell me, why do they load their guns here? I remember in the days when we were one heart, no need to defend. I just wrap my arms around you. Don't give up, this song is for you. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. And hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. I hold on, I'm trying to hold on. I hold on, hold on, hold on. From the tops of the buildings to the streets below, from the Wall Street banks to the empty homes, between the lines of the people standing on a row, there's a crack in the gutter where a flower grows. Remind me that everything is possible. Remind me that nothing is impossible. You gotta live for the one that you love, you know. You gotta love for the life that you live, you know. Sing, hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. I hold on, I'm trying to hold on. I hold on, hold on, hold on. Until the morning comes again, I will remain with you, my friend, and we will ride until the sun goes to the place where it begun, and we will live to laugh and cry another day. Don't let nobody ever tell you that it couldn't be done. Don't let nobody ever tell you that we couldn't be one. Don't let nobody sung. Don't let nobody ever tell you you're the only one singing. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away again. Hey, 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 no matter how life is today, there's just one thing that I got to say. I won't let another moment slip away. While we did not have any joys or sorrows submitted this week, I'm well aware that many of us are carrying joys and sorrows in our hearts. So let us please hold in our own hearts all of those joys and sorrows that are left unsaid. Please join me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. Sometimes it's hard just to sit with discomfort, simply to hold in tension the way things are with the way we want them to be, for ourselves, for others, for our world. Sometimes it's hard even to admit that not all is right with us or those around us. That despite appearances, there are places where we feel wounded or less than whole. Sometimes it's hard to imagine how acknowledging these uncomfortable things could possibly help, could make less burdensome the load that we are carrying. In the silence of this moment, let's sit together with those things that trouble us, that often go unacknowledged. May we have the strength to reach out when we need to be comforted. May we have the courage to reach out to others when they need comfort from us. May we have the strength, courage, and resolve to do what we can to offer comfort to the world, and to learn to sit with discomfort ourselves, knowing that we do not have to bear it alone. Amen. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Speak for me, speak for me, speak for me, oh my soul. Speak for me, speak for me, speak for me, oh my soul. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. We are living in a broken-hearted time. I don't know anyone who is not experiencing some kind of heartbreak in this moment. All of us are, to some extent, going through some kind of grief or loss that we have not had time to fully process or heal from. I'll not go through the whole litany of problems that have led us to this broken-hearted place, but I think you know what they are. Some of the problems and challenges have to do with the woundedness and brokenness of our world. Socio-political, economic, environmental instability and chaos. Some have to do with the pandemic and the resulting loss, not just of life and health, but also the loss of a sense of normalcy, the loss of a sense of predictability, and any kind of certainty about the future. But on top of all of these generalized societal maladies that have affected everyone, each of us is also experiencing personal losses. So many of us here today have lost loved ones in recent months or years, or have lost other things that are dear to us. And because of the pandemic and other challenges, some of our usual channels for sharing and grieving have been closed to us, or at least greatly constricted. As a result, our grief and sense of loss is compounded and rendered more complex than it might have been in other circumstances. Without the usual channels of support being in place or fully available in the usual ways, we can feel terribly lost and alone.
In order to start to heal from our individual and collective brokenheartedness, we need to discover or rediscover lifelines that connect us with others, that connect us with the deepest part of ourselves, that connect us with a sense of wholeness even in the midst of our brokenness. In our starting point newcomer classes, we often quote this passage from the Quaker educator and author Parker Palmer, who said, "There was a time when farmers on the Great Plains, at the first sign of a blizzard, would run a rope from the back door of their house out to the barn. They all knew stories of people who had wandered off and been frozen to death, having lost sight of home in a whiteout while still in their own backyard." Palmer continues, "Today we live in a blizzard of another sort. It swirls around us as economic injustice, ecological ruin, physical and spiritual violence, and their inevitable outcome, war. It swirls within us as fear and frenzy, greed and deceit, and indifference to the suffering of others. We all know stories of people who have wandered off into this madness and been separated from their own souls, losing their moral bearings and even their mortal lives." Palmer continues, "The lost ones come from every walk of life: clergy and corporate executives, politicians and people on the street, celebrities and school children. Some of us fear that we or those we love will become lost in the storm. Some of us are lost at this moment and are trying to find our way home. Some are lost without knowing it. And some are using the blizzard as cover while cynically exploiting its chaos for private gain." Palmer concludes, "My own experience of the blizzard, which includes getting lost in it more often than I'd like to admit, tells me that the soul's order can never be destroyed. It may be obscured by a whiteout. We may forget or deny that its guidance is close at hand, and yet we are still in the soul's backyard with chance after chance to regain our bearings." Religious community is all about lifelines. As I mentioned a few weeks ago, Unitarian Universalists, when talking about theological matters, often focus on the underlying meaning of the word religion itself, which comes from the Latin re, meaning again, and legio, meaning ligament or link. For us, religion is most fundamentally about rebinding, tying back together, or reconnection. It's not so much about believing the right things as it is about restoring and maintaining those connections that bring wholeness and flourishing. We believe that the way we heal or recover from our brokenheartedness and our sense of fundamental separation and disconnection is through finding and providing lifelines for ourselves and others. And we sometimes find those lifelines in surprising or unexpected or unanticipated ways. Last Sunday, it felt as if my heart were moving toward something like healing as we unloaded pumpkins onto Sunnyhill's front yard. I found myself wondering how such a mundane activity could have such a profound effect. I think it's because the way we do things like this here together in community is such a very human activity. Just the very human scale of it is something beautiful that can be healing. We had an amazing cross-section of the congregation, young and old, newcomers and longtime members, children working side by side with those of us who are middle-aged or perhaps a little beyond middle-aged, people of varying abilities and skills, everyone working together. No doubt the whole process might have been made more efficient by automation or mechanization, by conveyor belts and hydraulic lifts and such. But it was the human dimension of that undertaking that, at least for me, made it special, made it healing, made it something like a lifeline in the middle of the storm. Our small group ministry program, known here as Sharing Circles, provides lifelines too, through deep sharing and perhaps even more important, deep listening. These small groups help participants become more open-hearted people while forming deeper connections with one another and with the congregation as a whole. In some cases, these lifelines are in fact life-saving. Our social justice programs and events provide lifelines here as well. For example, those who have participated in our beloved Conversation Team's film and discussion series have found themselves not only educated and challenged, but also nurtured and connected to our larger aim of healing ourselves and our society from the scourge of hundreds of years of racism and oppression. The work of liberation is liberational to all who participate, and this striving toward liberation can be a lifeline in itself. And there are, of course, dozens of lifelines that can be found here at Sunnyhill and at any religious community that is going about that fundamental religious task of rebinding and reconnecting. More than anything else, we build lifelines through the power of showing up. Showing up at church is a way of being here for an institution that reflects our values. When you come to church or participate online on Sunday morning, you are not, I hope, just killing time. Rather, you are making a statement about what matters. You are saying through your presence that there is more to life than just the day-to-day busyness of existence, the making and spending of money, the endless lists of errands, the TV shows, and the filler that is ultimately shallow and meaningless. And your presence here makes a difference, not just to me as your minister, but to others who have chosen to share their lives in deep and meaningful ways and to walk a similar path of living that requires a certain amount of thoughtfulness and soul searching. Showing up is absolutely vital for spiritual and personal growth and to build relationships. If you want to learn to draw, you have to show up at the sketch pad every day. If you want to learn to play the classical guitar, you have to show up to play scales, even when it's challenging or inconvenient. If you want to build new or deeper relationships with people, you have to show up to be with them. And as I said, it is through our showing up for any and all of these things that we build lifelines for ourselves and for others. I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to minimize or gloss over any of the very difficult things that each of us is dealing with in this particular moment. And I am not trying to say that our broken hearts will be completely healed through showing up at church services or other programs and events. Clearly, often more is required. And there are some things that we never really completely heal from or get over. When I look around the congregation today, I see people who have lost loved ones recently, in some cases multiple loved ones. I see people who are dealing with life-threatening and perhaps life-ending illnesses. I see people who are very nearly at the end of their rope after close to 3 years of stress upon stress, bearing down hard on their very souls. And as I mentioned, some of these things maybe we never really get over. As stated by Albert Hufstekler in his poem, The Cure, we think we get over things. We don't get over things. Or say we get over the measles, but not a broken heart. We need to make that distinction. The things that become part of our experience never become less a part of our experience. How can I say it? The way to get over a life is to die. Short of that, you move with it. Let the pain be the pain, not in the hope that it will vanish, but in the faith that it will fit in, find its place in the shape of things, and be then not any less pain, but true to form. Because anything natural has an inherent shape and will flow towards it. And a life is as natural as a leaf. That's what we're looking for, not the end of a thing, but the shape of it. Wisdom is seeing the shape of your life without obliterating, getting over a single instant of it. We are better able to sense the shape of the whole of our lives when we reach out through lifelines to one another, when we go about the sacred task of reconnecting with what really matters, when we start to live wholeheartedly despite our broken-heartedness. It takes a certain kind of courage, a certain kind of faith to let our souls shine brightly through our broken hearts. As Clarissa Pinkola Estes said, one of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire. To display the lantern of the soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy toward others, both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things you can do. Broken-hearted people, and these days that means all of us who are willing to be honest, shine more brightly than others in their ability to make a difference, in their ability to experience true compassion, in their fierce love, and their commitment to helping those around them weather the storm. I hope and pray that each of us might become such a broken-hearted beacon, showing up whenever and however we can, helping restore a sense of the wholeness of our lives to ourselves and to all others. May it be so. Amen. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing "There's a River Flowing in My Soul."
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. Sorry. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind, in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. Please be seated.
This morning's designated offering will benefit Beloved Conversations, a program for Unitarian Universalists seeking to embody racial justice as a spiritual practice. In Beloved Conversations, participants learn how to heal the impact of racism so that all of us might become free together. Your support will enable Sunnyhill to continue to participate in this important program, which costs our congregation $2,000 a year. If you'd like to make a gift via our online giving system, you can do so by going to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says Online Giving, and then follow the instructions. Or you can give by text, 412-324-3130. Text the amount of your gift and the word special if you want your payment to go to our designated offering. And for those of you who are here with us in person, we'll be passing around our offering baskets in just a moment. Thank you, everyone, for your generosity. Please join me in saying the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Before we close, just a reminder, those pumpkins that I mentioned earlier, there's a bunch of them still sitting in our yard that need to be sold. And there are still shifts available for people that want to help with the selling of pumpkins. If you can sign up, it's another great way to get to know other Sunnyhillers and to help out the congregation, so I encourage you to do so. For now, we'll close with these words by Joel Miller. Let our lives be a prayer that waters dry souls, mends broken hearts, refuses to be terrorized, seeks the world's beauty, and carries us through its storms. Go in peace.
it.